This is your final IELTS listening lesson before we move on to some IELTS listening practice tests. And today we're going to be learning the different types of questions that you'll be asked in the IELTS listening test. As well as that, before you start feeling too comfy, I'm going to ask you to complete some IELTS listening style practice questions for each of the question types. That way you'll get a bit more familiar with the types of questions you might get in the upcoming practice tests. I'm sure you're going to find this quite useful. So let's take a look at the different types of questions that you might get in the IELTS listening test. We have 5 different question types. There is a matching question, a fill-in-the-blank question, a map or diagram, multiple choice, and a short answer to a question. Let's take a look at matching first. Match the answer with the correct information. And an example here, which is quite simplistic, I'm sure it will be something a little bit more advanced, is listening to some audio of people having a conversation discussing their favourite colours. It may be that you have to match the names with the colours that they say are their favourites. On to fill in the blank. From the audio, add the missing information to your answer sheet. An example here could be a monologue of somebody talking about their shopping, and you need to add the price of an apple that they have bought. Onto maps and diagrams. This is actually quite similar to the matching task. You'll be shown a simple map or a simple diagram, and you'll have to match something to the map or diagram. For example, it may be the function of the buildings on a map. You'll listen to the audio and then match the information together. I'll show you an example later in this lesson. Next up is multiple choice, which is actually pretty easy to understand. You'll see a question and be given a few different answers. You have to read through everything and decide which answer is correct. And finally, for question type number 5 is short answer. You'll be shown and asked a question about the audio that you hear. With a limited amount of words, you must write an answer. And it's very, very important that you stick to the limited word count. The instructions will be given to you in your question booklet, and it's usually 3 words or less. Let's go into a bit more detail and get you doing some work for our matching question. Listen to my monologue and match the answers. I've done the first one for you. You can see Damien Boyd. Next to his name is D, which means he works in human resources. My monologue will be discussing the different types of jobs and who has them in a hotel. So grab a piece of paper and a pen and try and match the name to the job title. My monologue will start now. Yes, I've been working in the hotel in town for a few years now. The staff there are awesome. The first person who you will meet when you go into the hotel will be Alf Rhodes. He is our receptionist. If you want to make a booking with us, I suggest you speak to Simon Park. He can do that for you. In the restaurant, we have an excellent head chef. Her name is Laura Bedwell. If you need to look after the hotel or you'd like to change something in your room, you can contact Amy Thomas. She is our head of maintenance. Lastly, the person who completes our payroll is Damien Boyd. He is the head of human resources. So there you go. That was an example of a monologue similar to what you might hear in the IELTS listening test. I'll now show you the answers. I hope you got that right. You can always listen back and make sure that you're understanding what you're hearing. Let's move on to the next question type, which is fill in the blank. Listen to my monologue and fill in the 4 pieces of information below. Hello everyone, my name is David Morris. I'm from England and am 30 years old. I was born in July 1987. A few other pieces of information about me. Let me think. My favourite kind of pizza is without doubt pepperoni. In June, I'll be going on my next holiday to Australia. I'll try and bring you something back. So, as you can see, in this type of question, you'll need to listen to a dialogue or monologue or conversation and fill in some type of information, usually like this. Let's move on to the next question, which is a map or diagram. In the map or diagram, you'll be listening to a conversation or monologue where someone is discussing a map or a diagram. I'll show you an example against this map here. It could be that the person begins by discussing that they're beginning at the entrance. So let's listen to this example from me. Beginning at the entrance, you will walk into the town library. The first room on your left is our meeting room. That's where the staff all meet every Tuesday evening. So there you can see in the audio that room 11 is the meeting room. So next to 11 you would write the letter E. Quite straightforward. Our next question type is multiple choice. So once again, listen to my monologue and choose the correct answers against the questions. I woke up very early this morning. I was super tired, but I thought that I might go for a swim. In the end, I changed my mind and decided to go surfing. It really was great fun. I had breakfast, which was quite delicious, but to be honest, I wasn't very full. After that, I needed to go to the post office to pay a bill. When I got there, I heard that a child was crying. I felt really sorry for her. It was quite awful. So have a read through these questions and try and match up the correct answer. And here are the correct answers for you. So this is very similar to the multiple choice questions that you will get in IELTS Listening. Let's move on to our last question type, which is the short answer. Listen to my monologue and answer the questions in no more than 3 words. And here are the 3 questions that I would like you to answer. Have a read through these before I begin speaking. Okay, my monologue will begin now. Hello again, my name is David. I'm an IELTS teacher and I'm from England. I'd like to tell you a little bit about me. Firstly, I'm quite a foodie and enjoy going to restaurants. Without a doubt, my favourite kind of food is fish and chips. In the evenings, I do enjoy eating snacks, although to be honest, I should try to be a little bit healthier. I used to like eating crisps, but these days I usually eat cheese and biscuits. I'm getting quite into eating Indian food. If I had to describe it, I would probably say it's quite hot and spicy. So that is a short monologue once again with questions with the short answer type. Let's take a look at the answers now. Okay, so we've managed to stick to the 3-word count. So there you have all the question types that you could get in the IELTS listening test. I hope that you found this lesson useful, and coming up we're going to look at some more skill-specific IELTS listening lessons. See you there.